oppose and counteract to each other to strike out a balance. So it's just finding a balance between. I'm literally just going to say what I just said. Welcome back to Rewind with bschwitty, because I'm a doctor, not an escalator. Today we're going to be talking about wine basics. Sorry for the camera one setup, but I just kind of ran out of time this week to shoot Monday's episode. We're going back to wine basics, so that's kind of fun. We haven't done anything in a while in that specific realm. Today we're going to be talking about wine pairing basics. And I'm going to make this like a full series, but we're just going to go over some kind of tips and tricks to get you started on pairing wines. You may have noticed me doing some wine pairings that I found on the internet, and instead of actually just pairing it myself. And that's because I kind of wanted to see if their pairings match up with what I think would be a proper pairing, and see if they were right, because you never know. The just like tasting wine to find what kind of wines you like the best, you kind of just have to figure out on your own how things pair and meld for you. But there are some guidelines, and that's what we're going to talk about today. The definition of flavor pairing, that is the practice of finding what foods will go well together by paying attention to taste, aroma, texture, color, temperature, and intensity. There are two types of pairings: congruent and complementary. So congruent means that they have many shared compounds that combine together and intensify the pairing together. The sums of the parts make something bigger. And complementary, on the other hand, they oppose and counteract to each other to strike out a balance. Let's move on to some tips and rules of thumbs. I got two of them. Balance is important. The intensity of wine should match the intensity of the food. Otherwise, one will overpower the other, and then you're just SOL. Acid doesn't pair well with spiciness or bitterness, nor does bitterness pair well with spiciness. So if you have a wine that is bitter, no bueno with the spicy food. Trust me on that one. Especially Thai food. Thai food, well, we'll get to that in a second. High acid foods should be matched with high acid wines. This is, I have a feeling I'm just going to be repeating different versions of high intensity or match intensity with intensity. It's kind of just, it's pretty much across all pairing types for flavors, etc., which would be congruent pairings. Like I was saying, high acid foods should be paired with high acid wines, or else the wines will end up tasting flat if the wine isn't up to snuff with the acidity of the food. High tannin wines go well with fatty foods. For example, a nice juicy steak will classically be paired with a big, hearty, tannic Cabernet Sauvignon. Spicy foods, like Thai food, they pair well with cold, sweeter wines with lower alcohol. Whites. Somewhat sweeter whites. High alcohol wines will amplify the spiciness, whereas the sweetness will cut through it, and kind of play off of each other. That's that complementary pairing going on there. Strong flavors, especially pungent ones, like, say, a stinky cheese. They will also pair well with sweet wines, and generally wines that are higher in acid. Bitter foods will amplify bitterness in the wine, so those tannins will just be put on a spotlight, like I feel like I am right now. No, those tannins will be put on the spotlight if you're having bitter food. Just like you may remember back to when I was trying those chocolates, like trying to find the perfect pairing for chocolates. And I had the it's a bit super bitter cacao, like 86% cacao chocolate, and a dry red cab, I think it was, and that just kind of didn't go well. So it's recommended that you pair bitter foods with low tannin wine that are generally on the sweeter side. Remember, like a couple episodes ago, I was like, I think what we're finding out here is that if you want to do some fun pairings, you're gonna have to use sweeter wines because they're more versatile with their pairings. Whereas the dry is you're kind of boxed into a corner. Good pork chop, good steak, chili, but not spicy chili. And then finally, an easy one: sweets and sweet foods should be paired with sweet wine. And this is a callback to that first. Like I said, I'm just going to be repeating the same thing over and over again today. It is a callback to the intensity of the wine should match the intensity of the food. So that's my basic wine pairing tips. Stick with me. Wednesday, we are actually going to, we're going to put this to the test. I'm going to do a wine pairing for the legendary Szechuan sauce that McDonald's brought back on last Monday. You may, depending on how this is cut, see a little prep for that over here in the corner. The things I do for this channel in science. Wine science! And if you're interested in seeing me put some of these pairings to the test, or just seeing me try out suggested wine pairings, at the end of the episode, there will be a playlist in the upper corner, and maybe even a title card right there, to give you a playlist of me just having fun doing some pairings I found online, trying some pairings myself, and whatever. On this Wine Basics wine pairing series, we'll talk about pairing cheeses, food, who knows. We'll see where we go. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe. We're getting close. We're almost 3/4 of the way there to 100 subscribers. That would be a milestone that I would very much enjoy hitting because as I've been saying for 36 weeks now, when we hit 100 subscribers, I will release that Switzerland special that I shot literally over a year ago now. So it's if you want to see baby proto bschwitty, the rewind before I knew what rewind was, Switzerland special. Let's get us to 100. And I very much appreciate everyone that watches. Thank you so much for your time. This has been Rewind. My name is bschwitty. Find me on the socials, at bschwitty /bschwitty, what have you. I'll catch you next time.